Like many of you, I'm sure, I've recently been trolled by some relatives who are still continuing to support Donald Trump in this election. And one of my relatives had sent me a few messages with regard to some of the articles that I had reposted on social media. A lot of the things that this person was sending me were just overtly racist, and they didn't really seem to, or still don't seem to understand how that's the case. And so I wrote a really lengthy response to try to really just get out my feelings and explain what's happening. And ultimately I scrapped this response because I was trying to practice empathy, and I wanted to give this individual an opportunity to tell me what they were after. So I just asked, what are your goals? What are you hoping to achieve by sending me these kinds of messages on social media? So anyway, I never heard back, and I've just decided to read this now, what I wrote. I guess to kind of treat it like an open letter, because I know there are a lot of us who are having to talk to relatives who are willfully ignorant and refusing to confront their own complacency as these demonstrations are going on across the country. So I'm just going to read this, and yeah, I'll just read it. It hurts me to write this, but I need to tell you something. You're racist. You are racist. Though I don't think you realize that. I assume you think calling someone racist is just a term that liberals are tossing about these days, but I don't make that accusation lightly. I'm calling you racist. And only you can decide if that actually matters to you. I believe that your need to other people lies in a deeply felt existential dilemma that you don't recognize in yourself. Let me explain that. You're afraid of other people having what you already have. Because when other people have what you have, your sense of self disappears. When other people beg the system for health care, or job security, or equal opportunity, or safety, then you're forced to ask yourself if you are more deserving of those things, which you already have, than the people who are asking for these things. You have to ask yourself, why am I innately more deserving of these things than anyone else? And the answer is, of course, that you are not more deserving of any of those things than anyone else. And that answer terrifies you, even though you don't realize that you're afraid. You can hide behind policy, you can blame Democrats and falsely label people socialists, etc. But the truth is that you're a coward. Any statistics you quote merely point to self-reinforcing systemic racism. You're afraid to confront your own shortcomings. You are afraid of realizing that you aren't the good person that you think you are. And you're too scared to admit that you are no more worthy of anything than anyone on this planet. That's why I blocked your emails. I did it because I'm not interested in reading your racist rants. Legitimizing your racism by giving it an audience undermines my many years of social service. I didn't block you because I'm afraid of hearing opposing points of view. So stop making that argument. You don't actually have a point of view because you're incapable of self-reflection. So your point of view doesn't exist. When you say things like, record numbers of blacks recognize these problems, or my black friend is voting for Trump, you discredit your argument because you don't know any black people who deal with the issues we're talking about. If you did know anyone who bears the brunt of systemic racism, if you realized what it means to be treated so poorly in this country, you'd have a real understanding of your position of privilege. And then you would use your privilege to lift others up, instead of repeating racist talking points and conspiracy theories. Lifting others up. That's what good people do. Good people do not argue with people who cry out for help. Good people do not attempt to justify their own culpability. Good people don't hide behind their privilege. When someone asks for help, good people listen. So I'm just going to leave that there. There's nothing special about that, but I was too afraid to send it to this person. And I'm sure that that's the case for a lot of you as well. So anyway, I just felt the need to share it, and I'm sure that there will be a lot more of that to come. Thanks for listening.